Arizona has less than a month to complete a state budget before a government shutdown. It has been reported the state legislature has taken a 2-week break. Reasons for the budget delay include uncertainty over state tax revenue and the extension of Proposition 123. With more information, we're joined by Republican State Senator T.J. Shope from District 16. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about this break concept, because now we're into June. So people are going to say to themselves, are we going to wait till June 30th? Is there progress behind the scenes that people can be optimistic about?
Absolutely. I think that there's a lot of misconceptions about what a break actually is. A break essentially means that we've reached the end of the available bills to be voted on at this point in time, and rather than having members drive in 6 hours away from the Navajo Nation or 5 hours away from Sierra Vista to just come in, do the Pledge of Allegiance, pray, and then adjourn for the day, we're going to let them go ahead and stay home, so that way we can figure out what we wanted to have in the budget and go to negotiate with the House and the governor's office.
Now, in leadership, as you are, is it difficult? Do you get calls from your caucus saying, hey, I want to know more about what's going on? Just tell me a little bit more about that.
Look, the Senate Republican caucus, we have a very open and candid conversations quite often. We get together for lunch on a weekly basis to talk about these things. So there really are very few surprises among us. And as I think anybody who follows the Capitol knows, that there are no secrets within the walls of the building or as soon as you walk out of the building. Everybody knows what we are working on, what we're working toward, and that is something that we can get 16, hopefully even more than that. Hopefully we can have, as we've seen the last 2 years, we've had over 20 votes in the Senate and over 40 votes for budgets in the House.
Are there disagreements between the two bodies? I mean, is there even an issue that is a little bit still, Senate disagrees a bit with the House?
I think it's broader than that. Are there probably issues that we disagree with on line-by-line bases? Absolutely. However, I think the approaches have been a little bit different. The Senate, as you've seen over the last 2 years, has really taken to a member-driven concept where members come in with their priorities and the leadership flows from a bottom-up, if you will, from the backbench to the leadership team. Whereas I think the House has sought to maybe return to a more of a leadership-driven budget, which is their prerogative. I used to be in the House for 8 years. I wouldn't have wanted the Senate telling me what to do and how to approach this, so I understand that. But it is a difference in the concept of how we budget. At the end of the day, we come together and we approach the governor's office as we have been doing this week, and I look forward to the white smoke of the budget being hatched in the next week or two.
Okay. Is there, as I mentioned in the introduction, the concept of not necessarily agreement on state revenues? For some, there's a surplus. For others, there's a deficit. But also Proposition 123.
Right.
So are those, in fact, the issues that, whether they're holding up the budget or just the most impactful things?
So I think the most important thing to remember about Prop 123 is, even though we've kind of taken a pause on where we're going to go on Prop 123 this session, and we'll go ahead and pick it up next year, those dollars are already accounted for in the budget that was built last session. So the $300-ish million. One of the reasons why the state budget overall is going to be larger than last year's is because of the dollars that are going into backfill 123. So we had that in mind. We'll pick that up next session. But in the meantime, we'll get this thing done in the next, I'd say, week to 10 days.
Okay, so you're optimistic, and we love hearing that. But at the same time, the governor's relationship has not always been great with Republican leadership.
I've been there for 13 years, served with 3 different governors. The governor's revenue projections at the beginning of session are always different than what the legislature's revenue projections are. We generally, whether it's Republican or Democrat, traditionally have taken a more conservative angle on what the revenue looks like going forward. And we actually craft the budget over the course of 3 years, looking ahead in that period of time, right? So I get it. That always happens. We come together at the end every time and get it figured out, and then we go and lay the arms down and ready for the fight the following year.
Now, we are not technically in an election year right now. But
are we not? I mean, I don't know. There's been rallies over the weekend and things like that.
But are there issues that perhaps there's been major disagreement between the two parties or the governor has vetoed something? Are there issues that come to mind for you that may, in fact, live later in the session?
Look, I think that it wouldn't be Arizona if we weren't talking about immigration issues. And I know you discussed some of that in the previous segment. Those things are what we have considered based on the November election results, that the voters of Arizona, I think, are more in line where we are in the Republican caucus of pushing that issue. So we've definitely tried to highlight some of those differences with the governor. No, part of it is we just want to make sure people know that there's a reason why we're here, and we expanded our majorities over the last election cycle. And sure, there's an election coming up in another year. So I think that both sides of us try to go ahead and highlight those differences where we feel that the public is behind us, and that's why you've seen some of the bills that we've sent up. Yeah, they've gotten vetoed. We wish they'd been signed. However, we're going to go ahead and make sure everybody knows that they got vetoed as well, because it helps fire up our base, right? So.
Well, you are an insider, so I'm going to trust you on the week to 10 days.
Yes.
Not wait till June 30th.
We are definitely not waiting till June 30th. I can guarantee that.
Senator Shope, good to see you. Thanks
You
so
bet.
much.
Absolutely.